Coming to you live from Ersprung Gymnasium on the campus of Baldwin-Wallace University. Welcome inside our coverage of Yellow Jacket Volleyball tonight. We apologize for the delayed beginning of our broadcast. We were working through some technical difficulties, but those appear to be behind us, and looks like we're good to go here for the remainder of the night. Again, still working on getting the scoreboard updated on the top, but we'll have that running here shortly. In the meantime, it is 19-9 in the opening set of the match. Brendan Gulick with you. Glad to have you on board tonight. Penn St Behrend at Baldwin-Wallace. And the Yellow Jackets, who opened the match by scoring the first 10 points in a row. They had really gotten off to a nice start. And Penn St Behrend's done a pretty solid job the last probably 5 minutes of action. They get back in the game and kind of get comfortable. And they've made this first set much more competitive now, 19-10 for the Yellow Jackets. Kind of run through the ladies that have gotten on the floor so far for you. Taylor Brown, Ivy Earle, Mary Zerbrug, Alicia Lorcher, Morgan Mellinger, Ashley Newton, Sarah Reinhart, Emily Moser, Kathleen Egan, and Alexis Garrett have all seen the floor so far tonight for Scott Carter's Yellow Jackets. We're off to a great start to the season so far after that terrific kill on the far side of the floor. Now 20-11 BW. By the way, you can follow online with the live stats if you are wondering maybe what you missed at the beginning of the broadcast. We will certainly do everything we can to keep you updated along the way this evening. But it's 20-11 in the first set. Yellow Jackets 13-1 on the season, and they've really played well. Their only loss came to a nationally ranked team in Swarthmore. Other than that, BW has been terrific. And they have won 10 games in a row. I should say 10 matches in a row coming into tonight's game. The only game that they've lost in that recent stretch of matches, they lost one game to St. John Fisher and one game to Potsdam State. Other than that, it's been 3-0 victories for the Yellow Jackets. So really a great start to the season for this team, a team that is fairly young, only 2 seniors and 1 junior, but a lot of the underclassmen saw some playing time last year. So even though it's a young team, it's not necessarily an inexperienced team for head coach Scott Carter. On the Penn St Behrend side, well, they've only got 12 young ladies on their roster, and they've basically all seen the floor so far tonight. Kristen Reland, Alec Scooten, Lexi Irwin, Kara Zollers, Alex Parra, Amanda Henry, a senior from Bridgeville, PA, Keely Herring, Madison Clapper, Caroline Upham, Emily Archer, and Danny Kussler make up the Penn St Behrend roster. They just picked up a key point there. Now 21-13 in the opening set. Phil Pisano, the head coach of the Lions. He's assisted by Meredith Snyder, Brandon Fuse, and Kira Kondoritis, the assistants for Scott Carter. Opening set. Jackets controlling pretty well. Nice dig on that far side. Well done by Zerbrug. All right, BW 22, Penn St Behrend 13. Jackets with 12 total digs in this first set and 9 assists. So far, so good for the brown and gold. Ashley Newting just checked off the floor. Young lady did not play volleyball at BW last year, but in 2015, she was the team's Offensive Player of the Year. And so to have her returning to the squad in 2018 is certainly an important piece. In the meantime, our lead official, pointing to Lexi Irwin of Penn St Behrend, says, hey, there's a couple of wet spots on the floor. Let's get those cleaned up. It is really, really warm and sticky in this gymnasium tonight. They've got a couple of big box fans that are circulating the air, at least on the court side in the corners of the gymnasium. But the air conditioning inside the gym tonight not working, and so maybe a little bit warmer than Penn St Behrend was expecting, but at least the Jackets have been training in it. Big time hit from Lorcher on the far side. Now she runs back to the near side. Set this one up. Lorcher again. Good rally going. was a great effort by Baldwin Wallace. Just a little bit off kilter on the dive from Kathleen Egan. 22-15. And the Jackets get a point back on the service error. Lorcher on the serve. Another BW point. Is there anything Alicia Lorcher hasn't really accomplished? As a Yellow Jacket, she was all-conference last year, also academic all-conference. She became the 10th player in school history to have 1,000 kills and the 15th player in school history with 1,000 digs. Did both of those last year in late September and in early October. And she is the heart and soul of this Yellow Jacket club for sure. She was a first-team All-OAC pick in 2016 and the 2015 Conference Freshman of the Year. Her accolades have been really impressive. So BW wins the opening set 25-16. And it's so far so good for the Jackets tonight. This evening's coverage of Yellow Jacket Volleyball brought to you by Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. By Domino's Pizza in Berea. They're the official pizza provider of BW Athletics. Call us at 440-891-0030 or go online to Domino's.com. And by Arena 51 Laser Tag in Middleburg Heights. Prepare for battle. We'll take a quick timeout during the set break. Jackets lead the night game 1-0. All right, the Yellow Jackets and the Lions just about ready to get started with their second set tonight. If you tuned in a little bit late, I'm Brendan Gulick. Glad to have you on board. Baldwin Wallace won the first set, 25-16. And BW brings their libero on the floor immediately as we get rolling. Jackets are in the white and brown tops, and they've got black shorts on. Penn State will be in the navy tops. Sarah Reinhardt is Baldwin Wallace's libero, so she comes back in as the officials quickly go over and square things up with the scorers table. Hopefully whatever the issue was, they will have that rectified shortly. All right, time to play. Opening serve of the second set. And an early point for the Jackets. Ashley Newton gets things rolling on the service. So far tonight, credited with 9 assists. She's playing pretty well. 2 straight for BW. See what the Lions can do, trying to attack on the near side. Great awareness right at the net from Jessica Whitehead. 3-0 BW. Well, BW is going to ride the hot hand here. Newton with 4 straight points at the outset. And the Jackets off and rolling here tonight, continuing this great run in this 10-match winning streak. Of the 30 games they've won over those 10 matches, they have dropped just 2. In fact, they have only lost 3 games all season. Check that. They've lost 5 games all season, losing the match to Swarthmore 3-1. And then 3-1 wins over Potsdam State and St. John Fisher. 5-1. A good little run for Newton there at the beginning. Meanwhile, a Penn State serve comes in from Danny Kuslow. Oh, it's too long. This is a Penn State side that last year, you want to talk about getting on a roll. They won their 4th Allegheny Mountain Collegiate Conference championship. And they did so by sweeping their way through the end of the season. They went rolling at the end of the regular season and then steamrolled their way through the tournament. It's now 7-1 Jackets. At one point they had won 13 of 14 to win the conference championship in the tournament, but then they bowed out in the NCAA tournament. They lost to Wittenberg, who was the number 3 ranked team in the nation, in a match that was hosted at Otterbein. Wittenberg right now ranked the number 4 team in the country, continuing to just have such a terrific program down in South Central Ohio. Wittenberg is in Springfield, which, if you're unfamiliar, or maybe if you're a Penn State Behrend fan, it's about halfway, roughly, between Dayton and Columbus. National poll as it currently stands, Wittenberg is receiving first place votes. Calvin, the number 1 team in the country, and they have a sizable advantage there. And I can understand why they would have such a good program again, because the facility up at Calvin is top notch. Colorado College having a great season. Claremont Mud Scripps out on the West Coast. Terrific year for them as well. Mentioned Wittenberg. Johnson & Wales, which is in Rhode Island. Emory, Trinity College in Texas. Ithaca, Gustavus Adolphus, and Pacific Lutheran round out the top 10. Ohio Northern, the highest ranked team in the OAC. They are currently 20th in the nation in the National Volleyball Coaches Association poll. 7-1 BW as we resume play. And you can make it 8-1 after that point. Nice to finally have a team coming to Ersprung Gymnasium, the home opener for Baldwin Wallace this season. And they will play again here at home on Wednesday. And another non-conference affair against a team from across town. They're going to play the Spartans from Case Western Reserve University. Great diving effort. Nuding doing it all tonight. That one had to go over. Nuding sets it up. Whitehead crushes it. 9-1 Jackets. After Wednesday's home opener, or I should say home opening series between tonight and Wednesday, the only other games played at home will be OAC contests. Capital, Ohio Northern, Heidelberg, Wilmington, and Marietta will all make trips to Berea in the regular season. Of course, the Jackets last year got off to such an amazing start, winning their first 20 games, I should say 20 matches, to start the season. A good effort, but another Jacket point now 11-1. And Scott Carter continues to have one of the highest winning percentages in all of collegiate volleyball. His teams, and now all 4 of his years, have really been impressive. 13-1 is a great start to the season. Now 12-1 here in the second set. BW won the first set 25-16. And on a substitution, Alicia Lorcher comes out. And Cecilia Stable, freshman from Northmont High School down in Union, comes on in. Of course, the challenge for the Jackets is how can they get better within the confines of OAC play? Another point for BW, because the OAC representatives for volleyball are widely regarded as country. And obviously Ohio Northern leads that role right now, but Otterbein is really good. We've got a Mount Union team almost every year that's fabulous. They are the only team remaining in the conference that still hasn't lost. 13-0 to start the season. Muskingum 9-2. Mentioned Ohio Northern, they're 9-3. John Carroll off to a good start, 9-4. Otterbein is 8-4. They seem to have peeled off just a little bit this year, not nationally ranked at the moment. Heidelberg 7-5. So, and even Marietta, who is 7-7 and hanging in there, having a good start to the season. The only teams that really have not performed well in volleyball lately are Wilmington and Capital, and those 2 teams have a combined 1-22 record at the beginning of the season. So the good news is the Jackets are in the mix, and they would like to get as much on a roll as they can before they get to the confines of OAC play. It's 14-3. What a pounding, driving kill in the back left corner. That ball was absolutely smashed by Alec Scooten. So a Penn State Behrend point, 14-3. Whitehead drives it off a line, 15-3. Two BW subs, Kathleen Egan and Sam Pruitt both checking in. Well, apparently Nuding went underneath the net. Actually, I beg your pardon, it wasn't Nuding, it was Cecilia Stable. So BW commits the infraction. It's been difficult to keep the floor dry tonight. There have been several moments where the teams have wiped up the hard court. back-to-back terrific plays by Scooten. Maybe she's got the Lions moving in the right direction. Now 15-5 in the second set. Good little decoy from Whitehead, tipped over anyways. Jackets dig it out in the back line. Three points in a row for Penn State Behrend. Oh, it's too far. But tipped by a Yellow Jacket. So 15-7. Penn State Behrend arguably on their best run of the evening. I mean, you can make an argument that in that first set they just kind of dug themselves too deep of a hole to really build a significant comeback. So the Jackets end that run at 4 straight points. (17-7). On that run for Penn State Behrend, Alex Parra had 2 of the 4 kills. Lexi Irwin and Keely Herring credited with the others. Whitehead drives it down, well dug out, and it is out of bounds. Yellow Jacket point. 18-7. First game went 25-16 in BW's favor. And Penn State Behrend trailing 18-7 here in game 2. Nifty little tip over though from Lexi Irwin. It's time for Alex Parra to try and serve it up. Junior from Pittsburgh. And that one's off target. Couple subs for BW, including Kathleen Egan coming back on. And she welcomes Delilah Clinton, a freshman from Mentor. Former Lake Catholic grad. Pretty good rotation by Baldwin Wallace, but very well placed. Crushing it to the floor. Penn State Behrend putting together a nice little match here. 19-9. (20-9), Baldwin Wallace. These are the kinds of times in a game where you can really try to step on it if you're the Yellow Jackets, and then continue to work deeper and deeper into your bench and get that rotation really well-rounded. You get a lot of experience on a team where you get off to a good start to the season like this, and it just helps everybody keep building. Again, a young team, but not necessarily an inexperienced team. There are only 3 upperclassmen on BW's side, if you can believe it. What a block by Taylor Brown. Brown, the sophomore from Maple Heights. And she is playing really well. 21-9. A lot of young ladies here wearing a Maple Heights uniform. Sitting up in the bleachers. They're all excited to see Taylor playing tonight. Jackets defend the side of the net well. 22-9. They're just 3 points away from taking the second set convincingly. Well judged. Nicely done by Sydney Kolchagov. (23-9). One has to go over. But apparently Reinhardt was standing out of bounds. Or she hit it with two hands. Either way, can't do that. 23-10. That was a nice decision. Reinhardt says, okay, we'll let this one fall. Game point, 24-10. Morgan Martin, freshman from Trinity High School, Seven Hills native, serves it up. Reinhardt in front of the line. It's a Yellow Jacket point and a Yellow Jacket winner. As nice as the first game was, a 25-10 win in game two. And Baldwin Wallace is way out front tonight of Penn State Behrend. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, third set action at Satter Sprung Gymnasium. Watching Baldwin Wallace Volleyball on BWYellowJackets.com.
By granting unprecedented access to patented technology to real-life application, OEC helps enhance and further BW students' education while preparing them for their future careers. Together with OEC, BW graduates will continue to shape and grow the regional technology plan. Visit us at OEConnection.com.
right, time to go with the third game this evening between Baldwin-Wallace and Penn St Behrend. Yellow Jacket Volleyball brought to you by the Comfort Inn in Middleburg Heights, where your comfort's just a part of the service we provide our guests. By the Oswald Company, they'll handle all of your insurance and risk management needs. By Medical Mutual of Ohio, they're the official healthcare provider of Baldwin-Wallace University. And by Integrity Berea. If you're looking for a place to call home, choose Integrity Berea. Visit us online, mybereaapartment.com. Start of game number 3, and in the first 2 games, Penn St Behrend has dug themselves an enormous hole. See if they can make an adjustment here in game 3. So far, so good. In game 2, they trailed 14-2 and never could recover in that 25-6 loss. In game 1, the Jackets took the first 9 points and they led 17-4. Then the Lions got it rolling a little bit, but way too far behind to really push the issue. Although a better start here in game 3 with a couple of wins off their serves. 2-0 Lions. If you joined us late tonight, I'm Brendan Gulick. Thanks for making the Yellow Jackets a part of your Monday evening. That one served out of bounds. We hope you'll keep your eye on the social media accounts after the game is over. Later tonight, although exactly what time, not entirely sure, but sometime after the game finishes this evening, we will have a chance to talk with head coach Scott Carter and a couple of players after the game. We started doing some post-game press conferences after all of the Yellow Jacket events on campus. And so you'll hear from Coach Carter and 2 of his players following tonight's affair. That will not air live, by the way. It will just be pre-produced and then posted. We'll have a YouTube link, and then we'll put it out on Twitter and up on the website, on the volleyball page, and in several different places where you could find it if you're interested. But keep your eye on that either later tonight or perhaps if it's past your bedtime, maybe tomorrow morning. It will certainly go up tonight, but it'll probably be later in the evening. 3-2, the Yellow Jackets with 3 straight points. And Lorcher caught that one a little bit too much in her palm. You could hear it when she tried to tip it. The ball just sort of died in her hand. Whitney Wallace is in the game for Baldwin-Wallace. (3-3) here in game 3. Brown tried to drive it home. Just a touch outside. Taylor Brown goes back to serve. Jessica Whitehead comes in. She'll play up on the front line, along with Sarah Reinhardt checking out. It's in. Well positioned. And a 4-4 battle. This has been a much more competitive game for Penn St Behrend so far. Jackets have 20 kills on the night. 5 of those for Taylor Brown, 6 for Alexis Garrett. Lorcher has 3. Ashley Newting, 16 more assists. She almost has more assists than Penn St Behrend does as a team. Certainly an effective night for her. Apparently play on. Penn St Behrend thought they had a point. And then Lexi Irwin says, I'll make sure of it. Let's see what the Lions are made of here. Time to make a run if you're a Lion. There are 440 teams that play Division III women's volleyball. And in lots of categories, this Penn State side is ranked inside the top 100. So roughly inside the top 20%. And in many cases better than that. For example, total service aces as a team, they're ranked 27th in the nation. Team total blocks ranked 47th in the country. 76th in the nation in team kills. So statistically, this is a pretty solid team. Certainly imagine they play with a lot of pride. And they need a better third set here, which so far so good. They're down by 2, but Lions are hanging tough. The Jackets, well, they've been fabulous at the net. 7th in the nation in team total blocks. And they are 24th in the country in hitting percentage. Again, there are 440 teams that compete. The Jackets are also 15th in blocks per set. So what they do up right against the line, and that front line has been a real weapon for them. Reinhardt sends it up in the air. Sent over by Stable. And she puts it down. Reinhardt leads the OAC in digs per set. Almost 5.5 digs per set. As Penn St Behrend calls a timeout this time, trying to stop the bleeding before the big run. 9-5 BW. We'll check back in with you in just a minute on BWYellowJackets.com. (9-5) Yellow Jackets. Game 3 resumes. BW serving. Boy, it is so hard to get past Jessica Whitehead and Kylie Taylor right on that front line. Terrific leaping ability, and Baldwin Wallace is making it very difficult. That one was kind of angled down. It might have caught Cecilia Stiebel a little bit. So it's 10-6. BW brings Emily Moser into the game. She's been really good this year too. Leads the conference by a wide margin in service aces per set. Almost 1, which is just silly. Next closest competitor is almost 0.3 behind her. And that is a huge margin. Reinhardt digs it straight up in the air. Tipped back over, deflected, kept alive. Another Jacket point. 12-6. One just barely out of play, and Reinhardt, who has been all over the joint tonight, will go back and serve again. 13-6. Clipped the net on the way over, but made its way over, so it's okay. Good chance to set things up. It is a point for the Lions. So that good little run by Reinhardt serving finishes off. (13-7) Baldwin Wallace. Short spinny serve. This one's got to go over. Not really how Kara Zollers wanted it to go. Nifty find, great touch. Kylie Taylor going up before our eyes. She's having a really solid night so far. 14-7. Jackets won the first game 25-16, and the second game 25-10. Good little crowd on hand here tonight for the home opener. And again, if you're able to make it, the Jackets would love to have you on Wednesday, 7 o'clock against the Spartans from Case Western Reserve University. That'll be part of the Marcia French Invitational. Baldwin-Wallace competes in that tournament annually. Little too long. 15-7, Brown and goal. Again, if you're wondering why the consistent stoppages tonight to wipe up the floor, I think part of it is because it is so warm in the gymnasium that there's condensation building more quickly. The air conditioning inside the gym hasn't been working, and so they've got some box fans, but that's all that is trying to cool people down tonight. Another timeout on the floor. It's called by the Lions. 15-7 BW. Back in a moment. Penn St Behrend back on the floor. The Yellow Jackets with a 15-7 lead in the third game tonight. This is the only game going on across the OAC this evening. There are a couple of games scheduled for tomorrow. None of them are OAC opponents against each other, as the Jackets give up a point. Heidelberg hosts Denison tomorrow night. Muskingum welcomes Pitt Greensburg. They're another AMCC foe. Otterbein on the road. They're at Mount Vernon Nazarene. Hiram plays in alliance against the unbeaten Purple Raiders. And Ohio Wesleyan is at John Carroll. That should be an interesting game tomorrow night. Meanwhile, we mentioned Ohio Northern is the only ranked OAC school. They lost at Wittenberg 3-1 this weekend. That should give you some sort of barometer as to where Wittenberg is, because Ohio Northern is darn good. And Wittenberg has continued to just be unbelievable this season. Wittenberg's only lost once. Ohio Northern played them pretty tough. It's 25-22, 25-19, 19-25, and 25-13 in favor of Wittenberg. But Ohio Northern couldn't get it done. Here it's 16-9 in game 3 with the Jackets out front 2-0. 17-9 BW. Amanda Henry playing pretty well for Penn State Behrend so far tonight, all things considered. Lions have also been led by Kristen Ryland, Alex Parra. They've each played well. Lexi Irwin I've been impressed with. 4 kills and 4 chances for her. That's pretty solid. And 10 assists. Like the way she's played. Might get another one. Nope. Oh, a mistake on Penn State Behrend, and it's another BW point. 18-9. The Jackets are 7 points away from a 3-game sweep of Penn State Behrend. Maybe just a lapse in concentration there on Kara Zollers. 19-9. What an effort. Disappointing for it not to go BW's way after that great scramble. But a well-earned point for PSU Behrend. Carry called on BW. 19-11. If Penn State Behrend's going to make a run, this is the time to do it. That was a mental lapse up on the front line. To 12. The Jackets right now are leaving way too many open pockets on the floor. Penn State Behrend is doing a nice job of taking advantage of those. 20-13. This has been the least clean of the 3 games for Baldwin-Wallace. That was a pretty good fight. (21-13). Well, the Jackets are starting to put it away here. 3 points away from a victory. Great dig out by Reinhardt. And pounded too long from Wallace. Actually, that was Jessica Laney, beg your pardon. Wallace had just checked out. So it's 22-14. Good effort from Lexi Irwin, but was laid up in a spot that no one could get to it. 23-14. Baldwin-Wallace is 2 points away from taking their home opener. Zollers made the mistake, and now the Jackets serve for match point. Rally going. Put away by Taylor Brown. And Baldwin-Wallace with a clean sweep of Penn St Behrend tonight. 25-16, 25-10, and 25-14. Coverage of tonight's broadcast brought to you by the Courtyard by Marriott and Town Place Suites in Middleburg Heights, and by American International. When you require a company with proven performance, rely on American International. With a victory, Baldwin-Wallace goes to 14-1. Penn St Behrend falls to 6-7 on the season. Player of the game for the Yellow Jackets, well, let's give it to Taylor Brown. She looked pretty darn good tonight. Had 9 kills, 4 digs, and put it away on the game winner. Very well done by Taylor Brown in the Yellow Jacket victory. So now 11 matches in a row have gone BW's way. They'll try to make it 12 Wednesday night when Case Western Reserve comes to Ersprung. I'm Brendan Gulick. Good night from Berea, where the Yellow Jackets are a winner. A 3-game sweep of the Penn St Behrend Lions here this evening. See you Wednesday. Have a great night, everybody.